This is on Mr. Ruto's claim on IEBC servers, which you are saying it is a blatant and shameless lie. We called you here to refute the claims by Mr. William Ruto that the servers used by the Independent Electoral and Boundaries Commission in the last year's election have always been open and remain open. It was a plain, disgusting, and horrifying lie, just like the many others he has told the country and continues to tell us since last elections. Ruto claimed yesterday that the IEBC servers were open during the identification of voters, posting of results, tallying of votes, and announcing of results during the hearing of the presidential election petition. How shameless can a leader be? How disrespectful can a leader be of citizens? Lies may have brought Mr. Ruto to where he is today, but lies will not take Mr. Ruto beyond here. They will be his downfall. Kenyans remember how throughout the electoral process, Azimio la Umoja One Kenya Coalition Party demanded transparency from the IEBC, and how Wafula Chebukati kept using trickery and subterfuge to manipulate the election outcomes in favor of Mr. William Ruto. Kenyans also remember that it is Azimio coalition that during the hearing of the presidential election petition at the Supreme Court applied for access to the servers. It is Azimio's lawyers who in the open court and in front of the world told the judges that access to the servers had been denied. Kenyans remember that it is the Azimio coalition that alerted the Supreme Court and the world to the letter dated 31st of August 2022 that the company Smartmatic International Holding BV wrote to the IEBC and said that it would not comply with the order of the Supreme Court to give access to the servers because, and I quote, providing full access would infringe our Smartmatic property rights, unquote. Kenyans remember how our judges of the Supreme Court watched helplessly as their orders were treated with contempt. Instead of enforcing their orders, they opted to lie to Kenyans, as Mr. Ruto is doing now, that access had been granted. The statement made yesterday by Mr. Ruto is therefore not just a blatant and shameless lie. It is another proof of the unholy alliance between Mr. Ruto and the IEBC back then and to this day. It is this unholy alliance that Ruto hopes to carry into 2027 by appointing 7 Wafula Chebukatis to run IEBC and rig him in again. Mr. Ruto is on a full-throated assault on the integrity of elections and democratic processes ahead of the 2027. It will not happen. Kenyans will not allow it. In the light of the revelations by the whistleblower on the conduct of 2022 elections, which is now in public domain, it is now more important that the servers be opened and an audit be carried out by an independent institution. This is the only way that to restore confidence in the IEBC and give legitimacy to the leadership that emerged from that election. Unfortunately, the tragedy of this situation does not end there. IEBC, which should be answering these queries, is silent. Instead, it has retained Mr. Ruto as their patron and public relations manager. These lies are what have turned the IEBC into a dysfunctional and a dead organization it is today. IEBC that exists only in name. It has been killed by shameless liars and unprincipled men like Ruto, who, in the absence of former stooges, has become the one who explains the position of the Commission on anything and defends it from queries. These are the things we have said we shall no longer accept as a people. We shall no longer accept electoral fraud that is swept under the carpet of accept and move on. We shall no longer accept injustice from the Supreme Court. We shall no longer accept to be lied to. We have said enough is enough. End of statement. And ladies and gentlemen, I have here with me copies of the letter which was written by the Smartmatic company when our lawyers demanded in the Supreme Court that we be allowed access to the servers of IEBC. The Smartmatic wrote this letter, and it is also in the records of the Supreme Court that we were denied access to the servers. So what Mr. Ruto was saying yesterday is a blatant lie. End of statement. So, nimesema yale kwa kimombo. Ningesema kusema kwa mukhtasari na kwamba jana rais sio rais ningesema rais bandia Bwana William Ruto aliongea juu ya mtambo ya kura ambayo inaitwa servers, yani ile mtambo pale matokeo ya kura inahifadhiwa. Akasema ati hiyo mtambo ilikuwa imefunguliwa, ilikuwa wazi wakati watu walikuwa wanapiga kura, wakati wa kujumlisha kura, na hata wakati tulipoenda katika mahakama kuu mwezi wa 8. Tungesema tungependa kusema siku ya leo ya kwamba hiyo servers hazijafunguliwa. Sisi kama wale ambao walienda katika mahakama kupitia kwa wakili yetu tulitaka servers zifunguliwe ili zikaguliwe tujue matokeo kamili ya uchaguzi. Lakini ile kampuni ambayo ilijiriwa na ambayo alileta hizo mitambo hapa inaitwa Smartmatic ikaandika barua mnamo tarehe 31 mwezi wa 8 kwa shirika ya IEBC ikisema ya kwamba hawezi kufungua hizo servers kamwe. Ati hizo servers zikifunguliwa itaweza kutoboa siri yao ya kufanya kazi, na kwa hivyo wao wenyewe hawezi kukubali hizo servers zifunguliwe. Lakini wakati huo sisi wenyewe tulienda mahakamani tukisema ati matokeo ambayo ilitangazwa na Bwana Chebukati na wenzake haikuwa halali na thibitisho ingetoka ndani ya hiyo servers. Lakini wakakataa kuturuhusu sisi tuingie ndani ya hizo server. Sasa nyinyi mnamjua ya kwamba mhubiri ametoka, ameongea na ametoboa ukweli, siri ambayo ilikuwa ndani ya hizo server. Ikiwa kama Bwana Ruto na wenzake wanasema hiyo sio kweli, ndio tumesema tunataka hizo servers zifunguliwe ili zikaguliwe na shirika wastani ambaye halengi upande moja au wengine. Hiyo ndio itaweza kutoa ukweli juu ya hii mambo ya uchaguzi. Na tunajua ya kwamba yale ambayo yalitangazwa na Bwana Chebukati ni uongo. Kwa sababu tunasema hatutaki kuendelea na kuzidi kutawaliwa na serikali bandia. Pili, sisi tulitoa taarifa juzi na tukasema siku 14. Leo ni siku ya 12, imebaki siku 12. Na kiene siku ya pili, imebaki siku 12. Endelea. Nataka Wakenya wawe macho. Asanteni sana.